There was a child went forth, in the manner of Walt Whitman. There was a child went forth every day, and the first object he looked upon, that object he became, and that object became part of him for the day or a certain part of the day, or for many years or stretching cycles of years. The willow tree became part of this child, and the elongated leaves that hide its face, and the watery bark that keeps it warm inside, and the willow tree's sagging posture, and the swarm of bugs by the playscape, and the yellow slide that garners a pool of water at the bottom, and the murky puddle of stagnant fluid, and the stone wall's moss housing small critters, and the chipmunk with its peculiar stripes of fur, and the secluded sunflower standing tall by a distant field, all became part of him. The rock garden with cobblestone fragments stunned in skew positions became part of him. The swollen wood chips soaked from the first shower of spring, and the shadow cast from the edge of the forest, and the mulberry tree laced with delicate speckles of purple and red that flowed down its drooping limbs, and the wrinkled old man up the street who would sit on his porch until the sun fell, and the innocent children across the street who would shout and play with each other, seldom seen companionless, and the honking cars that passed by far above the street speed limit, and the many faces of the strangers in the hall that share a shy glance, and every soul, body, and mind he had ever known wherever he went. His own parents, he that had fathered him and she that had conceived him in her womb and birthed him. They gave this child more of themselves than that. They gave him afterward every day. They became part of him. The siblings, fathered by the same man and conceived and birthed by the same woman, too became part of him. The eldest of them, tall, wise, critical, adventurous, and clever. The eldest who constructed fires and crafted tools made of wood. The youngest, always speaking of theories and conspiracies and inventions, all of which stretched boundaries of common sense. The family traditions, the furniture, the languages, the dinners feasted on in silence. The white lies and false truths generating a pulse, barely sustaining in him the beliefs of what is real or imaginary, the effect of time that birthed in him disbeliefs, the unknown, the confusion between artificial and natural, the ideas that forever grow larger after every effort to thwart them like a decapitated hydra. When will it cease to devour his innocence and replace it with the exposed nakedness of reality? Do the men and women who swarm the halls and share shy glances not have poisonous thoughts or sickened imaginations? The telephone poles and the long black wires that force connection, and the winding roads, bridges, pathways, and the unseen trails that cross over small streams, the footprints and foreign markings etched lightly into the dirt, beams of light that shine through the gaps left exposed by leaves, the airborne dust adding texture to a sight of empty space, the commoners along the path, their prints pressed into the same dirt, the brush, moving like a wave, swung by the wind's current, the steep field up ahead, the horizon glowing curiously, the last glimpse of the sun finally setting at the end of the path. These became part of that child who went forth every day, and who now goes, and will always go, forth.